is Cindy Best from Best Law Firm. This is a response to a petition for dissolution of marriage or divorce without minor children in Maricopa County, Arizona. And your response needs to have 3 documents filed with the court and your sensitive data sheet, which we covered in a separate video, along with your ADR or your alternative dispute resolution statement. And then this is your actual response. You need to send all 3 documents and file them with the court located near you. And you need to pay a $256 response fee. And when you get your petition for your divorce that you're actually answering, you will see that you need to file this within 20 days. If you have, and if you're out of state, within 30 days. If you have any questions at any time, you should consult with an experienced family law attorney. If you have any questions, you should feel free to call Best Law Firm at 480-219-2433. This is not meant to give you specific legal advice, but just goes through a generic form so you know how to file your own response to a petition. So Rachel Chandler is going to tell the court, the first is about her spouse, the petitioner who filed first. Number 2, she's the respondent, so she's going to tell the court where she lives. And it's very important that she has the correct address because that's how the court will correspond with her. She talks about their marriage, when they were married and where. They got married in Las Vegas, and the fact that they were, or her spouse, were residents of Arizona 90 days before this action was filed. Then this is the next part, number 5, is not required, but you could tell the court about your types of property, but it's not actually required as part of your answer. And you'll go down here. You'll also perhaps want to tell the court about your cars or your separate property. We have separate videos talking about separate property and community property, and you can look at those as well. So you'll want to check the appropriate box for that, but it's not required as part of this response. The debts are not required. Sole and separate debts are not required to tell the court, but you can if you would like. Any debt incurred during the marriage is presumed community debt. Sole and separate property is any property you had prior to the marriage or property that was gifted to you or that you received by will. Number 7, you'll talk about your tax return, and if you agree with that paragraph, you'll check it. And number 8, you'll tell the court what you would like that's different from what your spouse asked for. Spousal maintenance is any payment that you would like to be made to one party or the other after the divorce in order to pay for your reasonable needs. We have a separate video as well on spousal maintenance. If you want anything different in number 10, this is your time to write it in your petition. Again, it's not required. 11 is required to file your response and tell the court whether you're pregnant and if you are when the baby is due. This has to do with paternity and who's the father. And number 12, you must tell the court, this is a requirement, that your marriage is irretrievably broken and there's no reasonable prospect of reconciliation. You cannot get married without avowing to the court that statement. And then a general protection is the general denial under 13 for anything else not specifically admitted. Then the end of the petition is the actual order that you would like the court to make. And so that starts with A, B, C, and so on. And so you want the court to divorce you. You want your name changed to your maiden name of Greenlee. And you want a fair division of community property, a fair division of community debt. And you go to the last page. And if there's anything else you would like, for instance, if you have to retain counsel or you have retained counsel, you might want to put attorney fees in there. Anything else that you can think of that's not already covered in this document. And then you'll want to have it signed and notarized and filed with the court. We also have a separate video on where the courthouses are located, and you can go to the one that's nearest to you. Again, this is Cindy Best from Best Law Firm. Thank you.